Welcome to CrashMagic. Today we're going to look at the card trick, the Magic Spectator. A lot of the best card tricks have some spectator involvement. It's always really good fun when the spectator manages to get their hands on the cards, but normally in a trick all they're doing is selecting a card, or you might let them shuffle at some point. In this trick the spectator performs the whole magic trick themselves, so it's a really nice one. I was actually reminded of this card trick when I watched a great magic video on the 4 Suits card trick channel, where they were doing a similar concept in terms of the spectators perform the magic. I think the thumbnail title is something like Spectator Becomes the Magician, so yeah, if you want to check out that, if you watch my card trick and enjoy the concept of it, then I'd recommend going and watching their trick after on the 4 Suits card trick channel. Make sure you watch this card trick first though. This is a totally different card trick to that one, but the concept is the same. Okay, let's get into the performance. Today we're going to try something a little bit different. So I've just spread the cards out on the table, but that's it. My hands are away from the table now, and that is the last time I'm going to touch these cards, because I want you to do a magic trick all the way from the start right to the very end. I'm not going to touch the cards again. So the magic trick that I'd like you to do, or the goal of that magic trick, is I want you to end up with a pile of cards. We'll call them the black pile of cards, where the amount of black cards in that pile is exactly the same as the amount of red cards in the red pile. Now of course at the moment you've really got no concept of what that means or how you're going to do that, but if you just keep that goal in mind throughout the whole trick. Okay, my hands are away. If you would like to take the cards and begin by giving them a good shuffle, and you can shuffle them in any way that you like. This is your trick, so you shuffle them as much as you want and using any method that you like. Okay, now you're done, what I'd like you to do is deal the cards. We're going to be dealing them into 4 piles. Some will be face up, some will be face down. I'll show you what I mean. So we're going to alternately deal them face up and down. So if you turn the first one face up, so that's a black card, so we'll put that there, and then you deal the next card face down next to that, so that's part of that black pile. Next card red, so if you put that one there, and deal the next card face down next to that red pile. So next one's black, so we put that there, and the next card face down there. So basically, based on the value, based on the colour of the card that you turn face up, decides where you put this next card. Of course that could be a red or a black card, you shuffled the cards, but let's put it there. Black, so we'll put one there, black again, red, so you put your next card face down there, black, red. So if you work all the way through the pack like this, law of averages would say we're probably going to end up with 2 fairly even sized piles, but of course they're not going to be exact, you wouldn't have thought, because this is totally random. Black, so that one's face down, black, face down, another black, lots of blacks here, and another black. Okay, so we've got 2 fairly even piles, maybe a few more in that black pile. Now at the moment, have you got any idea how many black cards are in this black pile and how many red cards are in this red pile? No, nor me, not a clue. But let me repeat your goal again, because now it's clearer what I mean. What you're attempting to do is get the same amount of black cards in this pile as there are red cards in this pile. As you rightly said, neither of us at the moment has any idea how many red cards and black cards are in each of these piles. Okay, if you could now shuffle both of these piles of cards. It's not many, so it's a little bit more tricky to shuffle, but if you just give them a bit of a mix, of course that makes no difference to how many reds or blacks are in each of these piles. And then the next thing I'm going to ask you to do is give me a number between 1 and 6, because just to make it even more random and even more unlikely that you're able to perform this magic trick, we're going to swap some cards from this pile to this pile and from this pile to this pile. So if you give me any number between 1 and 6, so the spectator chooses 3. Okay, so if you could now choose any 3 cards from here, free choice, any 3 cards. We'll just leave them there for a second. And then again, if you could choose 3 cards from this red pile, let's choose this one, and this one. So you could have chosen any 3 cards from these piles, and of course neither of us knows if all 3 of these are black, all 3 of these are red, 2 black, 1 red, 2 red, 1 black. But we're now going to transfer these onto this pile and these onto this pile. So you've shuffled the cards, you've dealt them out based on whatever colours were here. You dealt the cards down here, you then shuffled both of these piles, you then chose any number between 1 and 6 and transferred that number of cards from this pile to this pile and this pile to this pile. But how good is your magic? Have you been able to do what your goal was, which was to get the same number of black cards in this pile as there are red cards in this pile? So if you'd like to finish the trick off by counting the black cards in this pile, one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you've got 6 black cards in this pile. So have you managed to get 6 red cards in this pile? Have a look. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. This has got to be red because this is the last card. 6 red cards. Well done, you did it. That was a great magic trick. Well, I hope you enjoyed the performance by our Magic Spectator. That really was a great trick by them. And here's the tutorial. It's going to be a really quick tutorial because this is totally impromptu, totally self-working. It's a mathematical trick. There's no setup, no sleight of hand, no gimmicks, no nothing. So you really can let the spectator take total control of this. So as I say, there's no setup of the pack whatsoever. They are free once they take hold of the deck to control the whole trick. They can shuffle the deck as much as they like. As you then saw, they then separate the deck, so they turn over the cards alternatively. So if the first cards are black, you put this down here and place the next card face down. Red card you put here and the next card next to that, and you continue all the way through the pack. So whatever colour you deal face up, you then deal the face down card onto that pile. So let's work all the way through the pack. Okay, so when they've finished dealing the cards into these piles, what I then do is ask them to shuffle these 2 piles, but it makes no difference. They don't need to shuffle them. They're and of course they really are a random mixture of black and red cards in both piles. So they now freely think of a number from 1 to 6. Can be anything. Let's say they say 4 this time. They can absolutely have free choice of picking any 4 cards from either of these packs. Let's just say they pick the bottom 4 this time for that pack. Bottom 4, middle 4 say from this pack. And absolutely these cards could be any mixture of red and black cards. But we swap them over to the opposite packs. And now you ask them to show you or count how many black cards are in the black pile. So in this case, there are 3, 4 black cards, and then you get them to count how many red cards are in this pile. So there's 1, 2, 3, and 4. It's all mathematical. It just works out but it is totally bewildering. I've sat and thought about how this works, and it makes my head hurt, to be honest. It's just a really nice trick, I think, and I hope you enjoy it. Give it a go. Well, that's the end of the video. If you liked it, please like it and subscribe. If you've got any comments, leave them down below, and see you soon.